Kevin, thank you very much for your time talking to us, especially ahead of such a big match.
Yeah.
How do you think a match of this size can change the mood around City? Especially because you already beat Forest, but the derby is different.
Well, the derby is different. It's always bragging rights. I think for the fans, we know it's an important game, and obviously it can change hopefully a bit of momentum. But I think we should just keep on trying, just do our job on Sunday and try to perform as good as we can, and hopefully we can win that game.
But the atmosphere around the derby, do you feel it's an extra push?
Well, for me it's a big game, but I never feel like it's an extra push. You have to perform every week in and week out as the best of your ability, but you understand the surroundings of playing in a derby because it's always big, and then obviously with having two big teams in it, it's always a special game, but it doesn't give me more incentive to do my job.
You've had tough spells as a team before, but does it surprise you how steep the fall was? Because 7 losses in 10 matches for City standards.
Well, obviously it's not a situation that we used to, but I have to say there's some games where I think we could have took more, but we didn't. And this is like the situation we are in. In the end, sometimes win and losses are very close, and I think there's been moments in before in the years where we had tough moments, but we would win the game, and then it changes a little bit. But we have to accept the situation. There's nothing else we can do. Try to change this as quickly as possible, and the quality is there. Obviously, at the moment we are struggling a bit, but this is okay. You have to deal with the situation. Don't make any excuses and go on.
Yeah, and of course injuries are a factor. But do you feel this time has been tougher to find solutions, or you feel you already found the solutions but the execution is not really happening?
Well, I think it's maybe a little bit tougher to find the solutions. I feel probably for Pep is difficult, because he has to switch the team always around, put players in positions that they're not really used to play in, and you also you lose balance in the team. The people who are injured, they're trying to get back as quickly as possible. That's the only thing you can do, and then hopefully we can just perform a bit better, and there's no excuses. We have to do better, and it's okay.
When Gundogan was analyzing City's game after the Juventus match, he mentioned that sometimes he feels the team is overcomplicating things. And that's quite interesting because City's brand of football was always based on simple basics.
Well, I think I understand. If you are in a difficult situation, you try to get out of it as quickly as possible, and you probably don't take the decision you take when everything is going well, so you think a bit maybe too much about the situation, where in the end football is just a game. You just have to enjoy yourself, and obviously we know we are a business, but once you feel free on the pitch and don't care about the end result, I think it becomes better. But obviously everybody or more other players feel more pressure than the other, and it makes it a bit harder, but sometimes that happens. I've been in football long enough to understand this is possible, and maybe we have been spoiled a bit too much in a lot of years, but take it as it is and just try and get the enjoyment of football and work hard, and there's literally nothing else you can do about it.
So what is key to keep it simple? Is it to just enjoy?
Yeah, don't think too much about the end result. I think when you fear the consequences, that's when you make bad decisions. I think that's probably also in life, you have to just try and do what you're good at and try to do your job. And then obviously when you get your confidence back a bit, more special stuff can happen and that will work. But at the moment, everything that you do, what you don't need to do necessarily, doesn't work out at the moment, and that's okay.
And you know this player so well. You mentioned confidence. What will it take for this confidence to come back to most players, do you think?
Well, probably winning. But I don't know. You know, it's very individual at that point. You know, to get confidence, because you can have a good team and play really good, but somebody doesn't have confidence at a certain time. So I don't know. I see football as a game. See it as an enjoyment. You know, if I don't enjoy myself, I will not be the best Kevin. You know. In a way, I'm trying to do what I'm really good at, try to do my job, and you know, I feel fine, and I hope the other people try to find what they're good at, and you know, then everything will come by itself, I guess.
Speaking about specific aspects of the game, Pep mentioned you've struggled a little with transitions, and as much as Man United, they have a new coach and are changing their brand of football, they are a very good team in transition. So what will be key to deal with it, especially in your part of the pitch?
Well, I don't know. You know, I think sometimes I would say we get. I think it's always been the way. You know, we can get caught on transition, but it's because of the way that we defend. You know, if you leave 50 meters behind, there's always going to be some kind of result. You cannot do high pressing and leave no space in behind. It's not possible, you know. But I think at this moment in time, even if I look at the Juve game, I feel like they had 2-3 transitions. They scored 2 out of them. So it's not like that's a lot of transitions. It's just when this happens, we conceding at the moment. So we just have to find a way to close that for the weekend. But yeah, it's always dangerous to play in a derby. So there's a lot of things we have to worry about.
Yeah, from what you've seen from Man United under Ruben, what can you expect different from previous years?
Honestly, I don't know. We've just came back from Juve. I've not watched any games of United since he came, but so it's hard to say. Obviously, we got through 2 training days now, where we will start working towards them. So at the moment, it's very hard to say for me.
One of the constant criticism that the team has been getting is that the players are getting older, the team is getting older, and because of that, lacking energy. So as one of the most experienced players, how do you see that?
Well, yeah, we're getting older. Yeah, that's true. You know, I can't lie on the paper. But there's not much difference than with last year, you know. And last year we won the league. So obviously this is a moment where everything falls a little bit in the negative. And like I said before, that's all right. But I can't see where a half a year would change that much in all our careers that we are not able to do it. We were able to do it in the beginning of the year. So I think it's just a moment of time where we have a difficult situation where everything doesn't really fall into place what needs to be, and that's fine. But I feel like the quality is there, and it will come back in a time where we will be really good, and then the reasoning will change again.
Being 33, doesn't bother you, this type of criticism?
I don't care. Like, I don't care when people are speaking good. I don't care when people are speaking bad, because the only thing I can really do is do my job. You know, I've been coming from injury. I've been working really hard. I know what I've been doing next to the pitch and on the pitch to get to my level. And I feel, for me personally, I can't speak about anybody else, but I feel like I'm able to get back to the level that I need to be. So for the rest, you know what it is. Like, obviously there's going to be a time where I'm going to be old, and but I don't know. You know, whatever people say is good for the narrative.
On that level, when you were still recovering, Pep got asked about you a lot, of course, and one of the times he said that a footballer is like a car. When you get a piece replaced, it's not going to be the same, but it's normal. So what kind of adjustments do you feel you have or had to do in your game after the injuries and the age?
Well, I don't feel on the pitch I have to change that much for now. I feel like my strength will always be my strength, and that will also maybe be my downfall in the future. I always go 100% and I cannot do lower. But I would say next to the pitch I have to do more. I have to do more to get the same result. And you know, when you're 25, I play every game. I don't need any physio, I don't need any treatment, I don't have to go to the gym, I can play. But now I have to do a lot more, and this is normal. It's an evolution. Everybody gets stronger, get tougher. It's not only about football skills. You need to be in a perfect shape, because otherwise it's impossible.
And how was the process of you coming back? Because it is a complex injury, the one you had, but of course it generated comments around the extent of the time you were away and why it took so long for you to come back.
Well, obviously I don't know. I never had like pubalgia. I don't know how you say it in English. When it happened, it was painful, but we didn't know the extent of like how long. It's not really that you can see something on a scan and say it's going to take 3 weeks. In 3 weeks you'll be back and it will be fine. It's like you have to try and maintain the pain and see how far you can go. And obviously, with the fact what Pep saying that I was training, but I was training to a certain extent what is possible, because you can do stuff, but it's painful to do everything. So as long as I'm not able to do my job, I know I cannot play. And then obviously before the international break I was coming in sometimes, but I didn't feel comfortable. And I'm happy we find some things that are working now. I'm feeling better, and you can see the way that I'm running and going is way better. Now I played 3 games in a row, but I know I have to maintain what I'm doing to still get better. But I'm happy with the progress, and that's good.
You've been very open talking about your contractual situation, how it's not really in your head. So first I just want to check any updates on that.
No, not really. But that's the thing, you sometimes you see a lot and you read a lot. People know more than me. So maybe I need to speak with people, but no, not really. I've not spoken to anybody for the moment. It's not been the time. It's not been the right moment, definitely. So I'm fine. I'm happy. I'm doing my job. So everything will come in time, and we'll be okay.
And players after their 30s, they always have to answer this around contract situations, because there's such a big discussion around it. How do you feel? Do you feel slowing down? Do you feel?
No, not yet. Obviously, sometimes you need a little bit more time to recover. But I feel, I had a big injury last year. But when I came back, obviously it takes time to be out of 6 months. But I think I did really well. And when I came back in the summer, I felt really, really good. What was actually a surprise to me with having no preseason. Then unfortunately this happened, and it became a not nice situation, but I still feel I can make a difference. If I can do that, then I will be happy to play football. Obviously, if there's a time come where I feel like it's getting more and more difficult, I will have to make a decision. But I still feel good to play football. I enjoy playing football, so that's for me the main thing.
And in the next few months, when it comes to the time where you have to have these conversations and make these choices, what will be important? What will you take into consideration?
Everything. Sportive, family, future. I think a lot about different situations. I don't just take a decision. I need to be 100% with it, and I need to feel the same from the other side. Obviously I understand it's a business, so I need to understand what people want from me or what they expect, and I will do the same to the other side. And whenever these conversations come, I'm very honest, very open, very blunt. It will come, but I know the team really well, so I don't feel like there's any difficulties in doing that, so it's fine.
Thank you very much. Good luck on Sunday,
Thank
Kevin.
you.
Thank you.